What is going on, YouTube? We've tried to make this video a few times and I can't seem to make it less boring. So tonight, I'm going to show you guys how to make this effect right here. A camera shatter fully interactive alert. The way this works is you decide what triggers your camera to shatter. It could be a follow, a sub, a donation, whatever you decide. That's why I have a few of them listed right here. In order to get this effect, we're going to be using a few different programs. We're going to touch in Blender really quickly. Most of it's going to be done in Unity. Once we finish in Unity, we're going to be using OBS, Streamerbot, and a plugin called Spout, so those programs can talk to each other. I know that sounds like a lot, but I promise you it's actually not. We're barely going to scratch the surface of what these programs are capable of, and we're just going to cut through it like we always do. When we finish in Unity, you're actually going to make your own .exe file. You're going to do a full build out of Unity. And the reason we're going to do that is that way you're able to close Unity, not have to open it again, and you'll have this lightweight little program that runs this effect for you without having to worry about performance. In fact, that's what I'm using right now, and that's why I placed this box behind me to show you this is the program. So I can just minimize this, set it aside, and everything will work just like it normally does. And if I want to close that program, it'll turn off my camera. So if I say Windows close, my camera is going to turn off. Well, the program's going to crash, and now my camera is going to turn off. So that's enough of an introduction. Let's go ahead and dive right into Blender. Now, don't be worried that we're in Blender. This is actually going to be pretty quick and painless. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to get rid of your light and your camera inside Blender. Keep the cube. We're going to be using that for this. From there, I need you to download a plugin. I need you to go Edit, Preferences, Get Extension, and I need you to search Cell Fracture right there. And yours is going to have an install button on the right side right here that looks just like all these other ones. Mine doesn't because it's already installed. Once you go through the install process, I want you to go to add-ons and I want you to make sure Cell Fracture has a check mark next to it. This is Blender telling you it's good to go. And just so there's no discrepancies, you guys should know I am using Blender 5.0 for this because adding add-ons in different versions is different. All right. From there, we're going to click on the cube right here and hit the N key, which will bring up your transform tool and this little side menu right here. At the bottom of your transform tool, you will have dimensions. These are what we're going to change. X is going to be 16, Y will be 9, and Z will be 0.25. The reason Z is 0.25 is because it adds a little bit of thickness, and that little thickness matters when we do the shatter because it'll give it a little bit of depth, and it won't look like paper thin things falling to the floor. Excuse me. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to change our rotation to 90 here, and that's going to stand it up and face it forward just like that. The reason we went with 16 by 9 inside our dimension was because we are going to use that as our aspect ratio. Excuse me. I am using a 16 by 9 camera, as are most people that are going to watch this video. The reason I'm bringing this up is if you are using a 4 by 3 aspect ratio, you need to change those numbers or you're going to run into problems later on. Okay, now, with our cube selected, I'm going to hit the tab key, which will put us in edit mode, which you can check here in the corner. And I'm going to simply right click and click subdivide. This will give you 4 different triangles, and that is all we're going to do in edit mode. So hit tab again and come back out of it. From there, I want you to go up to this object button right here, click on that and get this drop down and mouse over quick effects and click on cell fracture. Once you click on cell fracture, you're going to get this new menu. You're welcome to play with it and see the different ways you can break your stuff apart, but I'm going to go ahead right now and give you what I'm going to use for this effect. Source limit is going to say 100, noise is going to become 0.5, recursion is going to become 1, and then small is going to get changed to big, and that is it. I'm just going to click OK, and Blender is going to do the rest. From there, under our scene collection here, you can see it created all these new meshes called cube cells, excuse me. The only one not checked right here at the top is our original cube. So we're going to go ahead and click the I to hide that because we no longer need it. From there, with all these things selected, I want you to go up to Object, Set Origin, and Origin to Geometry. Click that for me. Then you're going to go Object again, Set Origin, Origin to 3D Cursor, which is this middle piece right there. It should be at your world middle or world 0. We never moved it, so if you moved yours, you're going to have to move it back, then do that. From there, I'm going to have you click off of everything, click on any one of these you want, then click A, and then hit the Tab button. Why is it so many steps? I don't know. But you'll notice you're back in edit mode with some of these faces selected, not all of them, even though everything is selected over here. So to get all these faces, hit the A key again, and now you have every face of this cube or cubes at this point. From there, I want you to hit U and type unwrapped, angled, based. Click that for me, and that is it. We're going to be done. I'm going to hit tab one more time, go back to object mode. Now I'm going to go into file, export, and I'm going to export this as an FBX. Go ahead and put it wherever you want. I have a folder for this, so I'm going to go ahead and put mine in shattered video. I want my selected object, and I want my meshes and other. Really, we could just do selected object. I just like to do all three. These don't need to change. That's how they're already set. We are going to apply transformations. We don't have any animations. We don't have an amateur, and we shouldn't have any modifiers, so I'm not worried about it. From there, pick your name. Mine's going to be Shattered Quad, and we're simply going to hit export on that, and we are done in Blender. The next part of this video, we're going to be using Unity, and this is where most of the work's going to get done. If you've never used Unity before, you're going to go to their website. I'll give you a link below, and you're going to download what they call the Unity Hub. There's no getting around it. That's just their launcher. From there, you're going to go ahead, and you're probably going to be on this screen. You're going to go down to installs, and you're going to pick the version of the editor you want, or the engine is what I like to call it. Tonight, I'm going to be using Unity 6.3 LTS right here. Go ahead and install this, and once it's installed, you're going to click on projects right here, and you're going to click create new project. Chances are yours is going to start you right here on the page that calls learning, and all you have to do is come over to all right here, and once you're in all, universal 3D is what we'll be using tonight. On the right here is what you're going to name your project. Mine is going to be Shatter Video, and this is where it's going to be located. Mine will be in that folder because I'm just keeping everything together, but that way you know what your name is and where it is. All right, and click create project. Now, while this creates, it's going to take a second because it's generating all those files. So be patient. It gets faster after the first time it does it. We're going to be using a few different scripts. Now, I'm going to give you a Google Drive link below so you don't have to try to figure these scripts out. You don't have to try to copy and paste them. You can simply download them and set them inside Unity. With that said, I'm going to show you the scripts we're going to use right now. That way you have an idea of what you're using, okay? You're going to have a script called Webcam, and that's this one. And this is going to get your webcam physically on an object inside Unity. That's what this script does. This script right here, Streamerbot UDP, is going to be telling Streamerbot when to fire the effect. That's what this script does. This one right here is going to be the actual shatter effect and rebuild and the different options you have to change that. And this right here is going to be a frame rate limiter. That way you're not just hemorrhaging extra, CPU and GPU power into this when you don't need to be, okay? So those are going to be our effects. I'm going to go ahead and exit this because I'm not even going to use this version of them. I'm going to use the ones I just told you I'll give you. Okay, my Unity just loaded, and this is what it looks like. If you've been with me with Unreal, it's pretty similar to that. We're going to have a hierarchy of list of items that are inside our scene on the left here. This is our scene on the right. And then our Spectre is their version of a details panel. Essentially, if I click on global volume over here, it's going to finish loading first. That's what it's going to do. Once it finishes loading, the inspector is going to give you the options I have to adjust or change the global volume, right? The bottom right here, this is called a project panel. And this is mainly where we'll work. It's going to be all of our stuff. It's going to be put in there, okay? So in order to tackle this, we're going to kind of do it piece by piece. The first thing we need to really do is we need to get our webcam inside Unity, right? So what we're going to do is I want you to go into your hierarchy right here. And the first thing I'm really going to do is I'm going to delete global volume and I'm going to delete directional light because I don't need either one of those today. Now I'm going to right click 3D object, and I'm going to create something called a quad right here. And there it is in our world right down there. To move in this panel, you're going to hold down right click and hit WASD. To get somewhere quick, just hit the F key and it'll pull it into focus. So a quad, as you can see, is an object I can see through, but I cannot see through it on this side. They're one-sided. This is the side we want. The first thing I'm going to do with this quad is I'm going to hit F2. I'm going to rename it Webcam Quad. That way I know, oops, let's name it better than that. I know what it is and there's never any question, right? From there, I need this to be 16 by 9. So 16 by 9 on this, if I go to the scale right here under Inspector, Transform, Scale, I'm going to change the x-axis to 1.78 and that's it. And now it'll be 16 by 9. For you math nerds, I know it's not true 16 by 9, but for what we're doing today, it's good enough. All right. From there, we're going to pull in the scripts that I'm going to give you guys to download. And I'm just going to pull all 4 of them in right now. That way, we don't got to keep going back for them later. So these are going to be the 4 you see. I'm going to grab all, highlight all 4, and I'm going to drag them in to this project right here. And you can see my cursor change with a little icon saying it can accept them. When I release this, Unity is going to take them, and you can see it's going to start running an update, and it's just processing them all real quick. So they're good to go. Perfect. From there, I'm going to minimize this. And the first thing I need to do to this is I'm going to take my webcam script, which is this one right here, named webcam, with my quad selected. And you can tell it's selected here. It's got the orange ring. And then if you ever question, the inspector will say what object you have at the top right there. I'm going to grab this, click it, and drag it down here. And I'm going to let go. And you can see it adds it as a component onto the quad. And these right here are editable for you, depending on what resolution you want. I want 1920 by 1080. Let me change that right there, 1920 by 1080. I put it lower because I don't know what kind of demand you have, and I just want to be accessible for as many people as possible. From there, I'm going to go ahead and check if this works, but first I need my main camera to be in the right position. It's way over there, as you can see, and my quad is way over here. Instead of trying to mess with this gizmo, the quickest way to do this is I'm going to click on the quad, and it's at 000 for the position. You can see right up here at the top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the camera, and I'm going to change this to 0 and 0, and it should snap it right in the same exact position. Now I'm simply going to grab this gizmo and drag it back a little bit like that, and now when I click play, my camera won't be there because OBS has the feed. So let's go ahead and exit on that real quick. Deactivate my camera. Now let's click play real quick. And I should show up on the quad. And voila, there I am. Ignore the colors. We're going to fix that right now. But we're doing it step by step. So if we have any errors, we know where they are. Cool. Go ahead and hit stop on that for me. Down here in project, right click, create at the top, material. Name this whatever you want. I'm going to name this unlit cam. With unlit cam selected in the inspector here at the top where it says shader, where it says universal render pipeline lit, I'm going to click on that, and under the search bar, I'm going to type unlit. And the second one down, unlit universal render pipeline, click on that for me. You will see the circle change and the circle change here. And from there, I'm physically just going to grab it, click, and drag it on top of the quad inside the viewport here and let go. And as you can see, it changed color. From there, I'm going to hit play again, and I should look totally normal to you guys. Voila, there we are. We're good to go. Excellent. I'm going to hit pause on that, activate my camera so you guys can see me. And the next thing we need to do is we need to bring in the FBX we made inside Blender. So in order to do that, I'm going to bring up my browser over here, and I'm just going to go, for me, I'm going to go desktop real quick and try to find what I call the shatter video right here. And this is my FBX right here. I'm going to simply click and drag it into my projects panel yet again, just like that. I'll minimize this in case we need it again. And where's it at? Right here. This is what mine looks like. This should be what yours looks like as well. And from here, I'm just going to click and drag it into my hierarchy or the scene itself. It doesn't much matter because it's going to be huge, but don't worry about that. Once it's in my hierarchy, there it is, massive, like I said. What I need you to do is I need you to click on it right here, and I need you to go over to add component, and I need you to type in the word box, and you're going to add a box collider right there at the top. Once that component's been added, I need you to click the little arrow next to shatter quad, and you're going to get all this different children is what they're called, but the little cells. All right. So I need you to click on cell top one and go to the bottom and shift click that one so they're all highlighted. That way you're editing all of them at once. From there, I want you to click add component. I want you to click box collider again, but this time I want you to click add component one more time, and I want you to search the word rigid, and we're going to add a rigid body. Once you add the rigid body, I like to click on a couple of these just to make sure this hasn't changed at all. Yep, it's on all of them, and the top one has just the box collider. Excellent. From there, we're going to collapse this back down so we can just see this. And now I want you to click and drag this back into your project, or your project panel here, and it's going to create what's called a prefab. So when I release here, you will see it made a second object right next to the first object. And at first glance, they look the same. What I need you to realize is this little icon is different than this icon. The one with the shaded side is our prefab, and that's what we'll be using the rest of the time. Just so we don't get confused, I'll name it prefab so we know which one it is. That way you guys can see it easier. With that done, I'm going to go ahead and go up here to the one inside my hierarchy, and we're going to delete that. We no longer need it. Now I'm going to go back to my quad that my webcam is on inside my main scene here. This one right here. With it selected, I have it selected because I can see it. Again, it lets me know I'm selected. I'm going to click and drag on quad shatter. I'm going to click this and drag it into the components right here. And it's going to give me a whole bunch of new stuff right down here. Quad shatter rebuild, telling you exactly what this one does. Now, before we start playing with these, the first thing I want you to do is that prefab we just made right here. Let me click back on my webcam. We're going to click this and we're going to drag the prefab. I said this. We're going to drag the prefab right here where it says fractured prefab. We're going to drag it onto that and release. Now, it should shatter when we click the space button
inside the play menu. So I'm going to hit play. Oh, it's not going to matter. My screen won't, my face won't show up on it because I have my camera going through OBS. But regardless, if I hit space, it shatters away right now. And that's the exact effect we wanted. Now, in order to edit this, let me go ahead and disable my camera so you guys can really see how to edit this. All of these are going to change different things, okay? So let me go into play and show you how they actually work. Well, some of them. We're not going to go through all of them just for time. Essentially, the way this is going to work is freeze seconds. If I set this to 2 seconds, before it shatters and goes down, it's going to sit there. Well, I have to check this too. It's going to sit there like this for 2 seconds, then it'll shatter. That is a preference thing if you want. I actually don't like that feature, so I simply have mine disabled. Shatter sim time is how long it sits shattered at the bottom. So for me, I want it to look like it's on the floor of my stream. So in order to have that, I have it set to 5 seconds. And that's what you guys witnessed, where it was on the ground and then it came back up. Rebuild time is how fast it rebuilds. And this is the delay after it rebuilds before it turns back into one solid object without cracks. I actually like this at 0 myself as well. So this is my exact setup for how I will be using it. Everything down here you are welcome to play with. This is going to be the velocity, how aggressive it explodes, direction, spin, all that kind of stuff. Feel free to play with them if you want. What I do want to point out with you guys before we move on, if you notice, is I just changed all these numbers right here, but I'm in play mode. And the reason I did that was intentional because now if I click spacebar, it's going to stay down for 5 seconds before it comes back up. So you can see in real time the differences, which is awesome. But let's say you set all these and you like what they are and you click stop. All those numbers are going to revert back to what they originally were. So in order to get these numbers to stay, you need to do it when you are not in play mode. You're just in your regular mode. So now I'm going to come over here and click 5 seconds on this. I want it, and I want this to be zeroed out right there. And I don't want mine to freeze. Not that it matters because it's unchecked, and I'm cool with that. Excellent. From here, like I said, I want mine to sit on a floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the hierarchy. I'm going to right click. I'm going to come down to 3D object and I'm going to click plane. And it's going to add this plane right here. And you're simply going to adjust it how far you want it from your webcam, which is what this is going to be, right? So if you have your webcam in a traditional spot like most people do in the lower left side of their stream, you're going to have to line this up where the bottom of your screen would be essentially. It's really user choice. You can do whatever you want with it. So for the demonstration of this video, I'm going to leave it about right there. And if you're not sure where to line it up at, you can always hit game. And this is looking through your actual monitor or through the camera you're going to be using so you can see how far it's going to fall. So right now, if I click play, you will see all the objects are going to fall not very far and sit there for 5 seconds before they come back up. If I want them to fall further, I simply lower the floor. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, go ahead and hit stop on that. So I'll lower this a little more because I do want it a little lower. Now, I don't want them to see this floor, right? I just want it to be holding things invisible. So in order to do that, what you're going to do is with this selected over on the right side, it says plane, you're going to uncheck mesh renderer. The mesh collider is the actual thing that causes collision, so leave that on and keep this off. And now when we click play, it should be perfectly good to go. It's simply just going to hit space and it's going to fall on the floor, and that's it. You can't tell what it's sitting on. That is just the background, so we're good to go. Excellent. Now we have it fully working within Unity, and we need to get it outside of Unity. Real quick, I want to make sure I don't have this installed before I tell you how to do it. Excellent, I don't. So what we're going to need to install inside Unity is something called Spout. Now, inside the Google Drive, I'll have a little text document that'll tell you how to enter these things. Let me go ahead and activate this. So I'm going to give you a little text doc to tell you how to enter these things, okay? It's not that big of a deal. It's just kind of unique if you've never done it before, all right? So Spout's going to come from this website right here. There will be links to this one, although you don't need to go to this website. You will need to go to this website because this is the OBS side of Spout, all right? So links to both of them will be below with everything else. What we're going to do is, let me go ahead and bring up that text document. Is this right here? This is what yours will say. It'll be the exact one. I'm way too lazy to give you a different one. You're going to go over to edit. You're going to come down to project settings. And in project settings, you're going to go to package manager right here. When you click on package manager, it'll have these 3 sections, which line up with these 3 sections right here. The name, so I'm going to go copy right here. And then we're going to add this registry right here. And then we're going to add this scope right here. Excellent. Now I'm going to simply click save and you'll see a load bar as it processes it in. Excellent. Go ahead and click the exit on that. And from here, you're going to go Window, come down to Package Management and Package Manager. Open up this new window right here. And in your submenus here, under Registries at the bottom, you'll now see Cajero. I'm not sure how to say it, but that's the one we want, right? And when you click on that, you'll have a bunch of different plugins you can play with if you want. The one you are searching for this video is right here, Clack Spout. That's the one we want. Go ahead and highlight it and simply click Install. And it's that simple. Let it run, and we're going to be done with installing this part. Now that that's complete, I'm going to exit this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new empty, is what it's called. So in the hierarchy, I'm going to right click and I'm going to create empty. There's nothing going in the world. It's just like a invisible placeholder, okay? So I'm going to name this Spout Sender, so I know exactly what it is. And then with Spout Sender selected, I'm going to add a new component. I'm going to hit Spout. And you'll have Spout Receiver and Spout Sender. We want Spout Sender, okay? So click on Spout Sender for me. It's going to ask you what do you want to name it. This name is what OBS will see, so you can click on it in there. I'm just going to name it Spout Sender for this. You can name it whatever you want, all right? I'm going to check Keep Alpha because eventually we want this to just show the camera and not this sky and everything. And then I wanted to capture my camera, not the game view. So click here, Camera. And then from camera, we're going to go this little button. I don't know if you've seen that. There's a little button on the side here. Click on that, and main camera is the only camera we have. Yes, that is the one I want. All right, double click that, and there it is. Now it is going to capture whatever the main camera sees, which is what we've been using this entire time, right? Or you can click the game tab, and it'll show you this is what my main camera sees right now. Excellent. Now, in order to get this in OBS, I'm going to uninstall it from my OBS so you guys can see. Now, in order to install it, we're going to go to this website. Again, it'll be listed below. And what you're going to do is you're going to install the .exe right here at the top. Go ahead and click that, and it'll just download it like anything else would. And it's going to be right here. Go ahead and click on it for me and run the program. Sorry, I know my screen went black. It was asked for permission, right? We're going to run the wizard. Yes, next, I agree. All the standard stuff you'd expect to see, right? Install and finish. Okay. Now, real quick, I'm seeing if it auto does it. Now that that's been installed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to restart OBS again. So just for you guys to have context, right now, if I go to the sources and go to plus, you cannot see it in here. But I will be right back and you will be able to. Okay, again, I just restarted. And now if I hit the plus sign right here, there it is, Spout 2 Capture. If we click on Spout 2 Capture, there's some that already exist. I'll just name this one Shatter 2. And right here, it's probably going to jack up my whole screen. Of course, it's going to jack up my entire screen. Why wouldn't it jack up my whole screen? I'm just going to drag it off real quick. So this is what we're going to see right here. And first available, it may say first available. You may see Spout Sender. Whatever you named it, it might be here. If not, you can leave it on first available. Composite mode, we're going to change this to pre-multiplied alpha. And that is it. Simply click OK on that, and it'll be almost ready to go. Now, mine is over on the side, just so you guys don't see it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off right now so it's not an issue. Drag my OBS back, go ahead and minimize that. And now we're almost done, actually. So now to see if it works, I'm going to simply hit play inside here. And my camera is not going to load because, again, I forgot to turn it off. So give me 1 second. Let me turn off my camera here. I don't know where the shorter one is, so we're just going to deactivate it, something like that. Go back to my main screen. Okay, and now we're going to hit play on that, and we should get a camera feed. Yes. Now let's see if my shatter is working, or my spout, as we say, and there it is right there. It's working. And if you notice, it is frozen. But if I click, I'll show you what I mean. It's frozen unless I'm clicked inside here. When I'm clicked inside this window, it unfreezes, and we're going to change that right now. But first, I want to make sure if I hit the space, that still works. Yes, it does. Excellent. So I'm going to click stop real quick. And what I'm going to do for that is I'm just going to come up to edit, and under edit, I'm going to go to project settings. You're going to come down to player, which is right here. And right here, you're just going to look like this. You're looking for resolution and presentation. Click on that for me. Run in background, check that. And then where it says full screen mode, come over here and change that to windowed. Don't worry about this. That does not matter, but that will matter. It's in windowed later on. Go ahead and exit that. Now, if we run it again, I'm going to hit play one more time. It should run if no matter what I'm clicked on, I'm just doing my own test. And yup, it's still running. What I have down here is the whole one. I'm just pulling it off so you can see my screen. All right, cool. We're good to go. Now, the last thing we got to do to get rid of this background is I'm going to come over here to main camera right here. Under main camera on the inspector, I'm going to come down to environments right here. background type, and it says skybox. I'm going to click on this and go solid color. It'll let you pick a color. Click on that for me, and it'll give you this. Zero out all of these numbers right here. Excellent. Now HDR rendering, turn this off, and then it says MSAA. Go ahead and turn that off as well. This isn't required, but it does cause bugs, I've noticed, for some people. So this way, we just avoid it altogether, right? So now, if I'm as good as I think I am, when we hit play, we should have a transparent background. Let's take a little peek. So that looks about right. And if I drag this over, yes, this is transparent as well. Excellent. And right now, if I hit the space bar, it falls down just like I want it to. Excellent. We have our entire system working. Now, if I want this to, if I want this to be bigger, let me pause. Instead of stretching it out in OBS, I can physically move the camera closer to it, right? And you can always check game right here to see how close it is. Like, no, I want it to be even bigger. Maybe I want it to be that big, right? Now, when I hit play, it's going to be huge. And that is a cleaner way of doing it instead of stretching it out inside your OBS, okay? And again, it's still going to work just like that. Excellent. Cool. So let me go ahead and turn mine off for now. Just like, uh-oh. Is it gonna let me turn it off? There we go. Go ahead and turn mine off for now. And now that we have that part working, I'm going to turn my camera back on if I can find it. There we go. Activate. Now that we have all that part working, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make another item. And this is going to be another empty. So I'm going to, in the hierarchy here, let me click on scene. I don't like looking at that bright thing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right click in the hierarchy and I'm going to go down to create empty. And this one is going to be Streamerbot UPD. You can name it whatever you want. I just name that for I know what I'm dealing with, okay? And with this empty selected, I'm now going to add another script, and this one is just named Streamerbot. Click, drag it in, just like that. You don't need to change anything on here. The only thing I need you to do is I need you to remember this number right here, 8765. That is the port we are going to go through. And if for some reason, if you're like, I have everything set up right, it worked well, Streamerbot will not fire. Everything else works, but Streamerbot won't work. Change the port number, okay? That's how you're going to do that. So now, with that selected and that done, I'm going to open up my Streamerbot. This is it right here. And I'll start at the home page in case you guys aren't very familiar with Streamerbot, which is this home page right here. I'm going to click Actions right here, and you're going to be met with these three little tables. The big table here, you're going to right click in there and click Add. And we're going to name it whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Shatter, right? Just so you guys can see. And don't worry about anything else. Just click OK. Once you do that, you're going to have a sub action and a way to trigger that, right? So the sub action we want, go to the search here and just search UDP. And you're going to see Core Network UDP broadcast. And when you click on that, you're going to be met with this right here. This UDP port, I shouldn't have shaken it like that. I apologize. I really reject everything up. I'll pull it all back up for you. Okay. This UDP port right here must match those numbers that we talked about. So this needs to be 8765. And under payload data, you're going to write the word shatter. Okay. Like I said, if for some reason you cannot get Streamerbot to listen to it, chances are it's that port, and you're simply going to change the port number, but make sure they match. All right. From there, under triggers, I'm just going to make a trigger here, and I'm going to do a command trigger. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to create a trigger real quick. I'm going to name this shatter. Sure, and then I'll make the command !shatter so I can test it in chat if I want, but I'm actually not going to use it that way. I'm going to click OK, just like that. And yes, I want to add that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is let me turn my camera off one more time. Again, you won't have to keep activating your camera, but for me, I do. I'm going to hit play on this so it's running. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Streamerbot, right, which is right here, and I'm going to simply, well, first off, turn mine on. Hello. With Streamerbot selected, I know there's a lot on my screen right now. I'll try to make it a little neater for you. Something like that. I'm going to right click on this trigger and say test trigger. And just like that, it worked. So what that's telling you is Unity is now doing the entire FX. It is communicating with OBS and it is communicating with Streamerbot. Okay, so our whole system is communicating with each other. Perfect. Now, if you want this to activate off a not a test command, an actual command, you can right click in here, go to add, go down to like Twitch or YouTube, whatever one you want, and look around. Like right here, subscription. You can do gift bomb, resubscribe, a new subscription, just like that. You somewhere in here, there's follows as well. You get the idea. Look around and find the alerts you want, and you're going to put them right here. Okay. And the one I showed you, it had sound. I did that inside Streamerbot. Right here, sub actions. This goes in ascending order. So I wanted this to activate before the sound. So it's this. Then if you type the word sound, you can see right here, core play sound. If you click on this, you'll say play sound file, and you're going to click here, and you're going to find the sound file you want to play. Mine was glass break right there, and I simply turned it down like that, clicked OK, and now if I show you guys a test, there's the sound. Okay, so it's just that simple. Excellent. Everything's working. There's only two things left to do real quick. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. I'm going to pause our workflow here. I don't need to see that right now. I'm going to activate my camera so we can talk a little bit more. Two things I want left to do is I'm going to go to my main camera. It's something consistent in the scene that's never going to go away for me. That's my main camera. And I'm going to click on frame limiter, and I'm going to drag that in here. And what this does, it's going to limit the amount of frames this is trying to generate. You don't need a crazy amount of frames. My default's to 60. You could put it down to 30 for better performance. It's up to you, okay? But at this point, we know the entire system works. Everything works. We're in the home stretch. The last thing we need to do, guys, is we are going to simply build this out so we can close Unity. Now, before we do that, I just want to make note of one thing. Make sure you're happy with where your camera and web is. Like, make sure you're happy with this setup and where it falls. Reason being is once you build it out, and you click that exe, there's no editing that .exe. You would have to come back in here, edit it again, and then build out again. So take the time to do it now, all right? So I'm happy with mine is for the example. So what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna come up to File in the corner, and we're gonna go Build Profiles. Future me here editing this video, I absolutely nailed it with the placement of that white block. So just for you guys can get this part and know what you're doing, you're gonna go File, Build Profiles. You're gonna be met with this window right here that you can now see. All this is honestly fine. We're going to be default machine. We're going to use Intel 64. Don't worry about any of this. And this is our only scene sample, and it's at 0. If we had a lot of different things, we'd have to worry about that, but we don't today. Scene sample's right here, and it's right here. And you're simply going to click Build, and then you're going to say Select Folder, and that's it. It's going to start building it out for you. All right. So mine just finished. It's right here, shattervideo.exe. So to test that out, I'm going to go ahead and completely exit out of Unity, and I'm going to deactivate my camera on whatever this is called, OBS. And now let me just double click this, and this should boot everything I need. There should be a display right here. Yes, I want it to run. There's our display, and there's our actual camera. Perfect. So now I can simply minimize this away, play my video game, move this around like I normally would in an OBS scene, right? I can just do whatever I want with it, set it where I want. Cool. And then I should be able to come to Streamerbot, come up to command, test command, hit it, and the effect works exactly as intended. And that is going to be it, boys. That's the whole video. That is our first interactive alert. I hope to make more of them. I think this could be really cool if we use this technology to do stuff like put things behind it. Maybe we can build our avatar inside Unity and have him shatter. I don't know if that's possible, but it's definitely on the list of things I'm going to try soon. Yeah, I just think there's a lot of options here, and I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, man, leave a comment or something, because it actually does help the channel grow. And I'm a baby channel, boys. I'm out of here just trying to do my thing. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.